swenya kansa didi swenya yom Edika femo maye bia maye Yabo mose Yamwa mo Edika fumo mo Osabere mo Okubano mwere mo Mirikano mwere tu mo Jidine sume sie mo Zenya kanguni Edika femo maye bia maye Yabo mose Osabere mo Okubano mwere mo Mirikano mwere tu mo Jidine sume sie mo Zenya kanguni Edika femo maye bia maye Yabo mose
Isaac Ano. Currently, I'm the editor-in-chief of Ghedutainment.com, and currently we are the GNAT Manya Krobo Municipal Delegate Conference. They are seat quadrennial 53rd Municipal Delegate Conference. Yeah, it's a very nice program organized by GNAT to elect their leaders for each district, municipal, or metropolitan. This is what they do almost every 4 years, to elect leaders for to lead them for the next 4 years. And currently, there's a NATLAS, NAT Manya Krobo NATLAS roundtable. The women over here are having their meeting before we have our delegates conference. Before we have our meeting, so we are going there right now to have a look at what's going on there. So let's go there.
At times, I don't know. We know they are there. Those who gave birth during the COVID period, last year, they couldn't get them. And it is now the time for us to lure them, coach them, bring them together. The government is ready to help them because of what Mr. COVID has brought. And Mr. COVID is still around. It's not gone. And they are still in the town. They feel that 2019 lifestyle is the same as 2020, 2021. And they are still moving up and down. So it is our duty to advocate, lure them, and let them come back to the class. Some have come back. I know a girl whose sister has taken care of the baby, and she's now in the school. So let us encourage them. If we don't do that, our work as NATLAS or NAT ladies will not be seen. We are moving with our girls, and we are not leaving the boys behind. The boys are now worse off. Our boys, they are now worse off. So as we encourage the girls, let us as well encourage the boys, so that the two will move hand in hand. Finally, ladies, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this roundtable conference. As I said, if I look around, I'm the only senior citizen here. A young senior citizen who retired 2 years ago. I see. But she's following me. For giving me your attention. God bless you. Good morning. Please let us
Ladies Society, NATLAS, Manya Krobo Municipal Report from 2017 to 2021. Preamble. This report covers all one major activities that were carried out in the municipality within the year under review. The municipality operates under 2 districts, the Lower Manya Krobo district and the Upper Manya Krobo district with separate district director of education respectively. The district operates within 8 locals. We have Abesre, Asasewa, Agomanya, Akuse, Kwon, Odumasi, Sekeswa, and then Mensagawa. Membership. The membership of NATLAS is open to all NAT lady teachers in the municipality. Okay. All right. So please, if you check from 2, you will see the position, name, and school. Please, actually, you can go through them because of time. You can go through them.
Please, as you are going through, you will be making the corrections.
You go through. If there is any mistake, you correct it or omission. Page 2, we have NATLAS activities. We have major issues discussed, which includes activities for the year. We have municipal activities. We have welfare. We have achievements. We have projections. We have challenges. We have resolution. Okay, the resolution, I read. NATLAS coordinators at all levels should be made automatic members of NAT Delegates Conference. NATLAS coordinators and other executives should be selected at the NATLAS Roundtable Conference at district and regional level. And then where we have NATLAS coordinators and officers at all levels, is 12 levels. The team is municipal secretary, municipal executives who advised and supported us throughout the period. Also, we thank the Lower and Upper Manya district directors of education for every opportunity they have to us. Not forgetting the DCEs for both Lower and Upper Manya. We say God richly bless them. Finally, to my sweet, loving, supreme members, NATLAS members, for giving us the nod, the nod to serve you. God bless you all. We still need your support to achieve more for our society to be successful going forward. The Municipal NATLAS Secretary move for adoption of the report.
Be part of your round table this morning. As the coordinator for the NATLAS coordinator for Eastern Region, I've come to be part of this conference. Women are not undertrodden. There's one thing that my mom taught me. He always advised that you should be bold as a lion. When he says bold as a lion, she means you should be strong as a man. Not go and fight the man per se, argue with the man and quarrel with your husband. But it means the work that the man can do, you can also do same. As said by our guest speaker, we have to be strong. When I came in with my coordinators, I saw that most of you were very, very late. And as women, we should be abreast with our time. The main aim of NATLAS is exposing women teachers involving in educational and educational advancements. Now we are in the technology era. Everything is going higher and higher. And I'm treating you ladies that we need to advance in technology. You are in a bank, now we have various apps going on there. Now if you want to go for promotion, you have to apply online. Any position, you have to go online. It means that if you are not abreast with the current technology, you'll be left behind. Now the government has also planned giving us computers. Don't just go and dump your computer somewhere or only give to your children, but you should use it and know how to operate on your own computer. It's also the aim of the society to help the female teacher in having very good leadership skills. Today we are going to have our election, and I believe we are all going to back those who are standing for the position to win so that they come and help this association. From here we'll be going to the main conference. Those who are females who are standing for chairmanship, deputy, treasurer, etc. You should back them. We were at Brim the other time, and lo and behold, the women took most of the positions. We have the female secretary already there. The female chairman was picked, and the treasurer also a female. And when the men got to know that we are taking it, they became furious. But we were then at the verge of the stream. We had already crossed it. We should come out and then take higher position. It's not only in NAT, it's not only in our various churches, but in your schools. Take up leadership positions, move on till the time that you have there's no limit for you. So I'm urging you, since our time is fast spent, get up, NATLAS, Supreme, now union, arise and shine. Amen. And the time is now. Now. Then you say long live. Long live NAT. Long live. Long live NATLAS. Long live. And long live.
Original NATLAS coordinator, our former Deputy Director of Education, NATLAS coordinated from the various districts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm privileged to be among you this morning. I will not talk plenty. All that I want to say is I want to encourage us that when I joined NAT, we women, but just as our guest speaker said, we can take positions that we think belongs to men as well. Just 3 days ago, one of our municipal treasurers who has served her 2 terms is ours. Let's have a successful conference, and may God be with us all. Thank you very much.
Okay, to you. I said, I think there's a problem. This one is not church, so you can't say the name of it.
Use your mobile phone to.
Yeah, from Akuse Presby. I'm here to represent Lower Manya.
Association of Teachers,
in the Ghana National Association of Teachers,
do in the name of the Almighty God,
do in the name of the Almighty God,
swear that I will be faithful
swear that I will be faithful
and truthful
and truthful
to the Ghana Association of Teachers,
to the Ghana Association of Teachers,
that I will at all times
that I will at all times
preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of GNAT,
the Constitution of GNAT,
and that I dedicate. I further solemnly swear that should I at any time break this oath of office, I shall submit myself to the Constitution of the Ghana National Association of Teachers and the laws of Ghana, and suffer the penalty for it. So help me God. I think we then ask the coordinators. You can.
It's hard to do. It's not the fun. You have to work hard.
This information is coming from those doing the registration. They said everyone should put on a tag. If you have the tag with you, you should please.
We thank God so much for the fact He has brought us. You will all agree with me that it's been by His grace. COVID came into the world. Our lives were in our own hands. It is just by the grace of God that so far for me, I stand to be corrected anyway. I haven't heard much of teachers being affected so well because of COVID. And it is because the work we are doing, it is God's work. And once we are doing it well, His protection has always been with us. For that reason, I want all of us, each and every one of us, from your heart, say a word of thank you to our Maker, because He is the one that has brought us this far. We just want to appreciate His kindness to us as teachers, His kindness and protection, even during the peak of this COVID, and we are supposed to be doing our work as well. And so in your heart, just thank God for how far He has brought us. We want to continue again. Bible says that it is only sin that separates us from God. Even as we have met here, before we seek for His guidance, before we seek for His goodness in us, let us acknowledge where we have defaulted. If there is any sin by any of us, or even as a group, will prevent this meeting from being successful, let us seek His forgiveness so that He will see us through. Again, let us finally invite the Holy Spirit to come and be in our midst. Whatever we are coming to do here, we need the Holy Spirit. We need knowledge from above. We need love. We need understanding from above, so that whatever we do here will be successful. And so we pray and we ask God to come and be in our midst. Now shall we pray. Spirit Divine, we want to thank you so far for what you have done unto us. We acknowledge your goodness in our lives. We acknowledge your power that has kept us this far. It is just by your grace and your mercies. And for that reason, we appreciate you this morning. We thank you and we bless your holy name for bringing us together, even into this meeting. We thank you for the traveling mercies. We thank you for life. Even as we are meeting here, Father God, we invite your presence. We invite your presence. We need your presence so that whatever we are coming to do here will be to the glory of your holy name. We believe once we have asked, you have already answered us. You will see us through, and at the end, we will not forget to give you praise. We thank you. In Jesus' name, I will with thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. The task of a morning educator is not to cut jungles, but to irrigate deserts. This is a quote from one of my beloved Stephen Lewis, one of the writers. I want to continue by inviting Desiree Quality Tetekin to come. But before she comes, we'll have to sing the teacher's song. If you have a program, open to page 2. You have the program, it's there, the song is there. And our sister Sheila Enim is going to lead us do the singing. And Sheila, please come around. She's going to lead us.
Teachers, so one goal.
We shall unite and work in concord love and peace, that we may build a nation strong to fight the cause of Jesus Christ. We shall unite as teachers still, our strength resides in unity, united by a common will, to faithful serve our nation's needs. We shall unite as teachers still, and build a country for a future bliss, to love and guide, serving the cause. We shall unite as teachers still. The union is our heritage, to where we make our solemn pledge, to live tomorrow evermore.
Good morning once again. Good morning. I am much honored to be called upon to introduce the chairperson for this occasion. Our chairperson is a very dynamic, motivational, and vibrant educationist. He completed his basic education at Foreman Memorial Presby JHS in the year 2000. He had his secondary education at the Manya Krobo Secondary Commercial School and completed in the year 2003. He obtained his diploma in basic education certificate in the year 2007 at Abetifi Presbyterian College of Education. For his quest for knowledge and academic advancement, he continued to the University of Education, Municipal, for his first degree in education in the year 2011. Currently, he holds 2 master's degrees, all from the University of Cape Coast. They are MA Human Resource Management in 2017, MPhil Educational Administration in 2019. Our chairman is currently awaiting another graduation with an MPhil in Educational Studies from the Presbyterian University College. He was the Chief Justice for the UCC branch of the Graduate Student Association of Ghana for the year 2014 and 2015 academic year. Again, he was also a member of the University of Cape Coast Hospital Board from 2014 to 2015. Furthermore, he was among the pioneer governing board of the Nursing and Midwifery Training School at Manya Krobo in the year 2016. In the GNAT circles, he has served as a school representative, an assistant local secretary, municipal trustee, and now the municipal chairman. Because of his knowledge base and level-headedness, he is currently a member of the Constitutional Review Committee and the Budget Committee of the Union. Our chairman is a full-time employee of the Ghana Education Service, specifically the School Health Education Program Coordinator at the Upper Manya Krobo District Directorate. On part-time basis, he lectures at some of the tertiary educational institutions, of which some of his products from the university are part of us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, with a hand of applause, let's welcome the chairman for this Chairman, your audience, my beloved audience, our chairman, thank you very much.
I actually like the voice, the way the voice was going. I mean, I'll see if I'll come for voice training later.
I accept to chair the program.
Delegates. We are going to do it local by local. So when I mention your local, you raise up your hand, you all say Igwe, the Nigerian way. So I will start from Abestel local, delegates, let's see. Mention our local. Someone says I should mention the name well. Mention our local, let's see. Second Sua local. All parties second Sua, not to call all parties second Sua. But you have no from up, you have to come to downstairs. So let's see the host local first. All local, let's see. Yeah. You know, they have a nice environment. Followed by Akuse local, let's see. Then Agomenya local. Oduwasi local. I hope I've already introduced as one local. Because I saw one of their giants nodding their head. If it's Oduwasi, they will take you on. Okay. Then we also have in our presence high dignitaries. We have our visitor, the Eshojawan District GNAT Chairman in the Chairman, Mr. Bessen. Then we have Solomon Azubula is a district director waiting posting. I'm a district director who is engaged some equally. We have Adam, because we are not in Jamaica, but today we research the regional and the head of the administrative group in the nation. He is the chairman of the GNAT Procurement Committee at the national level. He is the convener of the Committee for Professional Educational Development at the national level. Sometimes I should the rest.
Yes.
That to baptize is a stand Methodist. The rest are raised because the person of this and to observe the apple. I didn't get
to be his co-MC for today's program. You have refused to introduce me, introduce almost everybody. You want to say something? Okay.
Just a welcome address. The keynote. I'm not in a position to deliver the keynote address. Okay. National Desk Representative, Regional Chairman, and our other regional executives present. Regional Secretary, and our other district secretaries present. National Council members present. Our guest speaker, distinguished invited guests, my hardworking local executives, my cherished delegates and observers, media men present, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. It's a great honor for me to welcome you all to the 6th Quadrennial and 53rd District Delegates Conference of the biggest, oldest, relevant, and most vibrant teacher union in the Lower and Upper Manya Krobo vicinity, and for that matter, Ghana. The name is Ghana National Association of Teachers. NAT. We ladies and gentlemen, Sir Winston Churchill once said, if I have sinned further than others, then it is because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. And therefore, as I stand here, if I've sinned further than you, then it means all of you here and the general teacher populace, you've provided me your shoulders to stand on. I'm very grateful, and I'm not taking that offer for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 years ago, exactly in this same building, delegates, of which some are still here today with us, gave me the mandate to lead our noble association as the municipal chairman. I believe my leadership has not disappointed the delegates who voted for us, and our members in the discharge of our duties and responsibilities to members. Ladies and gentlemen, it is refreshing to note that the series of activities that were carried out during the 4-year period, which was focused on reorganization and rebranding of NAT in Manya Krobo, has yielded a positive result. Somebody will ask, what is the positive result? As we speak today, 91% of the public teacher population across Lower and Upper Manya are NAT members. When we took over, it was 69%. And now we are hoping that we will even get to, or going forward, we'll get to our old glorious days, where we're having only one teacher union. I think Manya Krobo can set that record that if you only come to Manya Krobo, it's only one teacher union, and that is NAT that is working in Manya Krobo. Ladies and gentlemen, during the lockdown period of COVID-19 in 2020, the municipal executives were able to pursue and persuade the public relations officer of Noguchi Memorial Institute, Mrs. Gloria Benefo, and the Greater Accra Regional Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Winfred Bam, to have a 3-hour online education for NAT members in the district on COVID-19. We did it on Telegram. The participation was massive. And colleagues, you know this thing comes with money. So when you hear people saying that 2020, the union were in COVID season, so the union didn't do anything, so there shouldn't be any expenses for 2020, tell them that if for nothing at all, there was this major activity we undertook. Our theme for the conference, as coined from the main theme by our guest speaker, is promoting the welfare and the professional dignity of the teacher. Our guest speaker, I don't know what you are going to tell us, but I'm happy to inform you that welfare and dignity of the teacher is already paramount to Manya Krobo. And I believe that the venue we are having this conference alone attests to that. We have the option of going to school or church auditoriums, but because we value the dignity of the teacher, we chose this place despite the cost. The teacher needs to have a meeting in a more professional and more dignified. If we hope to get to, going forward, we hope to get to a stage whereby we can even go and have our meetings like this at Royal St. Hotel. The utmost aim of GNAT is to seek and promote the interests and well-being of its members. As said by Thomas, funds to serve as a blockade in our quest to improve upon the welfare and dignity of our members. But we go all out, and as and when necessary, to seek for sponsorship for our program, including today's goal. As I prepare to take my seat, let me admonish all of us gathered here that we should let our thoughts be genuine. We should let our heart be pure, and our character should shine brighter to give light to those in the dark. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this conference and hope we are going to have a fulfilled conference. I leave you with a quotation from Isaiah 60:22. And permit me to quote. When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. I wish you a fulfilled conference. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Municipal GNAT Secretary, Municipal GNAT Chairman and Executives, GNAT Executive from National Headquarters, Guest Speaker, other GNAT Secretaries, Municipal, local, and circuit GNAT Executives, Delegates, invited guests, and protocol duly observed. This morning, I'm very glad to be among you to represent the Municipal Director of Education, Mr. Manya Krobo. He has wished to be here on this occasion because he cherishes to meet colleagues of the noble teaching profession on gatherings like this. But an assignment has taken him out of the municipality. However, meet the cost of living in Ghana. It is on this note that I say that Oliver asks for more. And the sky should be our limit in the demand for better conditions of service for teachers. I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate all GNAT executives in the local circuits and the municipal for the successes they have chalked during their tenure. I know there were constraints.
Dear delegates, because I think today we are going to be so dear to all of us, and especially the contestants. So, dear delegate, you are dear today, tomorrow, you continue to be dear. It is always a delight to be in the midst of the top fraternity. There are days where great ideas are shared and great thoughts are distributed to the large. My mother, should I call my mother or my father district? Have, because we have just come from them and we are still depending on them. We are crawling. So once my mother district have already spoken, I will not take much of your time. Yes, I'll just say that I'm happy the way you have seated and continue to listen without interference. So that's what somebody told us some time ago, that the greatest woman or a man is not the ability to stand and talk. But the greatest man or a woman is the ability to sit and listen. So you're the greatest this morning. Thank you. And I would like to add a few things to that. We want to say that anytime NAT are fighting for good conditions and benefit for members, we want to treat you to add office staff. Add office staff to that, because just this morning I saw some resolutions put across for, I think, responsible allowance to be given to the assistant head teachers. But we have very hardworking field officers at the basic education level who supervises all schools, including the head teacher and assistant teacher at the various school level. So if you are fighting, we are fighting together. We are also members. Or me, for instance, I'm a member, a very proud member of NAT. So you are fighting, fight for us too. And also add management to it, so that we can all enjoy the booty. Then we also want to add that our newly trained teachers, it was on my note, but fortunately I saw it in the resolution. They come and we find our own means to get them hooked to NAT. But anytime the souvenirs comes, you backdate it, you take the data from the previous years. So even though their money has been deducted, they come to the office crying to get the souvenirs. And now we see, wait for your turn the following year. Meanwhile, the money is taken this year. So please, if you can also, when I saw it, I was very, very happy. So you look at it for us. So thank you all, and I thank you from Upper Manya. All blessings is what I've done, because all good things are the top. And they always number one. Thank you. God bless you.
Our able chairman, I stand in all established protocols to say good morning to everybody. It is my singular honor and privilege to be called upon to introduce our prolific and generous guest of honor. Mr. Chairman, I am honored and privileged because I'm proud to say that he was my first headmaster at Boku Secondary Technical and my role model to date. Mr. Chairman, the guest of honor worked with the Ghana Education Service from 1985 to 2017. Wow. Serving in different capacities and rising to the position of Deputy Director General, responsible for quality and access, and Acting Director General of Education. He worked in the Ministry of Education as Planning Officer, Acting Director of Planning, Budgeting, Monitoring and Evaluation Division, and later as coordinator of development partners and resource mobilization. He also worked with the consultants and officers from the Ministry of Employment and Social Welfare to prepare the National Human Resource Policy. Educational background. He holds the Master of Science degree from University of Bristol in Development Administration and Planning. His postgraduate certificate in Comparative Education from the Royal Danish Institute for Teacher Training, Denmark. And a Bachelor of Arts and Diploma in
Education from the University of Cape Coast. Mr. Chairman, he was trained in development evaluation organized by World Bank and Carleton University, Ottawa, and in developing innovative policies in science and technology from United Nations University in Maastricht, the Netherlands. He worked with the VSO as a trainer of volunteers posted to different developing countries. United Nations volunteers as an international volunteer training specialist in South Africa, and in UNICEF Ghana as social policy and planning officer. In the international circle, he was a member of the steering committee for IFA and FTI, Education for All Fast Track Initiative, and subsequently as alternate and board chairman for the African Trade Constituency on the Global Partnership for Education Board of Directors. He served on the GPE Governance Ethics, Risk and Finance Committee and was nominated to the Strategic Financing Working Group, which prepared the financing and funding framework currently being used by the GPE Secretariat. Mr. Chairman, he has special interest in education, governance, and finance, technical, vocational education and training, and initial teacher education. He retired from public service as Executive Secretary for the National Council for Curriculum and Assessment, NACA, in the Ministry of Education. Currently, an independent education consultant in education administration and curriculum development, participating in the ongoing review of curriculum for pre-primary and primary, junior secondary, junior high and senior high secondary schools, and involved in the preparation of the assessment framework. Group lead for the preparation of initial teacher education curriculum on social studies, and he serves as council member for Peking College of Education. For ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our beloved guest of honor, now 6th Perennial Municipal Delegate Conference 2021, Mr. Charles Yao.
Thank you.
But especially I'll have to greet the representative of the General Secretary and the Regional Secretary for NAT who are here with us, and say special greetings to all the delegates and the observers and our invited guests who have made it to this place. I want to say thank you to Francisca, as I call her, for the introduction. But I was excited when she mentioned NACA and the whole room started. NACA is a very peaceful organization. So we only went and set it up and make sure that it could take its place, and now it has taken its place. And during the course of my presentation, I would mention an aspect that all of you will be excited about, especially as we begin to look at NACA. Probably something that you don't know, but you find exciting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for me, I'm extremely excited. Before I make my speech, I whispered something to the chairman. And it's a special request that I want all of you to do me a privilege about. I would like you to sing the NAT Solidarity song for me. Please. So if you can.
There can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what was on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of man. But the union makes us strong. Solidarity, solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
I have requested for this song because 90 years is no small feat, and coming this far at 90, you so want to rely on the solidarity, because the solidarity is what is making the union strong. So it's still a pleasure for me to be part of this occasion as a guest speaker. And the occasion is the 6th Provincial Delegate Conference of Manya Krobo Municipal. I'm excited because it allows me to share some thoughts on the extent to which the establishment of NAT influenced teachers and also the impact of the profession on national development. And as I indicated, all of this is set within the remit of the grand theme that was put out by the National Council of NAT. And permit me to remind you again, the grand theme is NAT at 90, surviving as a reliable and vibrant teacher union in the 21st century. Dear delegates, you remember when the chairman was giving his welcome address, he hinted that both the Municipal Council and I seem to have been in unity in the choice of the theme or the sub-theme for the quadrennial delegate conference, and that will also be the subject of my discussion, and it is about the welfare and the professional dignity of the teacher. Much of my discussion will take us back to reflecting on the formation of NAT. Then we will also look at the objectives of NAT. We will also come and look at how NAT has contributed to the development of teaching as a profession. And then we will also discuss issues around the moving forward within 90 to eternity, and we call it NAT as we advance. And then we also would now come to the specifics of what we want to reflect on, that is on our welfare and then the professional dignity. And then we would draw a few conclusions and bring this about what are the great things that we can reflect on. So Chairman brought a certain quote. Now I'm also quoting Winston Churchill, and now from a different angle, because at this point we are discussing the origin of NAT. So Churchill was giving a tribute at a memorial service for British fighter pilots and bombers. And if you have studied the British involvement, you see that the British fighters and the bombers were very, very strategic, and they contributed significantly to changing the face and the course of the Second World War. And Winston Churchill said this: never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. And we are talking about the very beginning. We are looking at the context in which GNAT was formed. Now, GNAT has actually survived times to become a notable institution. And one organization that GNAT worked with, GNAT as a non-partisan, non-sectarian, equal opportunities teacher union. Here we are looking at a situation that happened in peace time, when a small group of dedicated and committed teachers, determined not to make teachers a part of the masses and an adjunct to a trade union congress comfortably manipulated by the government at the time. So if you remember the history of GNAT, you see that GNAT finally was inaugurated National Association of Teachers by the Ministry of Education, which set the Ghana National Association of Teachers as a separate entity from the Ghana Trade Union Congress. GNAT separated from East Union with Cable, and Cable had a very special name during that time. And the kind of union that GNAT created with itself and Cable was in 1958 as one of the 14 affiliated unions to the Ghana Trade Union Congress. But this separation was on principle, not on course. And course inspired the formation of GNAT. GNAT, in its formation, committed itself to uniting the members and present a unified front to advise government in education policy formulation and implementation. And also to act as, and I'm introducing a new word here, a spokesgroup to discuss and influence government to formulate and implement better services for teachers. So, what I refer to as never in the history of peacetime, in this case, was so much owed by so many to so few. I am referring to all the people who are the founding fathers of GNAT, through whose wisdom and dedication now we owe a certain obligation. So they have created a path for us, and today we owe them a lot of gratitude. So, with the objective that GNAT set itself, GNAT has become very instrumental GNAT was very instrumental in the setting up of the Ghana Education Service in 1974 under the Supreme Military Council led by General Ignatius Kutu Achampong, who is now late. That is also some interesting history. Interestingly, the Supreme Military Council at the time saw the wisdom in the position of the few, that is, the few teachers who led GNAT, to whom we owe a lot today, that it is impossible to lump professional teachers with training in education alongside administrators in a civil service class, many of whom didn't have any idea about education. So that was, for those who don't know or are not too clear, why today there's so much controversy between Ministry of Education, Ghana Education Service, because Ghana Education Service is a solely teacher-led institution. It's an institution packed with professional teachers with a specific goal emanating from the 3 labs that our sub-MC pointed out. Nonetheless, even though we were Ghana Education Service is made up of professional educators, the issues about specific government policies and how government will implement its intentions was supposed to be done in consultation with the GES, which had all the group of experts in education. So if government was thinking about how can I get more children in school, it becomes a very difficult thing for government to say, I will do this and that, when it doesn't really understand the dynamics in education. So who do you call? You call the people in Ghana Education Service to give you advice and to help you to say, okay, let's put this way, let's focus on access, let's introduce quality, let's begin to look at girls' education, let's look at management, and all of those ideas are coming from the Ghana Education Service. So clearly, there are no conflicts in our job descriptions. And it is very strange by any stretch of the imagination that anybody can think that the Ghana Education Service is a threat to the Ministry of Education. Far from that. But let's come back to NAT and look at how NAT has contributed to the development of teaching as a profession. So in ensuring the sanctity of the teaching profession, NAT led the development of a separate structure of career progression for teachers under the Ghana Education Service, which was set apart from the structure of the Ministry of Education. In fact, those of you who are interested in the broad history will know that the Ministry of Education, as the PNDC government, created an implementation committee that bypassed the Ghana Education Service and the implementation process with little success. It was very difficult for the education reform to move along, and it was all because once the government was not willing to get GES involved, then it was going to be difficult for them to get a lot of support. Interestingly enough, we have some very prominent people who were teachers themselves, and I want to mention the name. Some people might know him. He's called Mr. Stevie Yalmenu. You know, Stevie Yalmenu was very instrumental. In fact, he was the strategic person who was able to go through between the government and NAT and a whole range of other people, and encouraged that teachers would need a lot of training, both in their academic and professional competence, so that they can function properly within it. That was a plus. It was good for teachers, and it was going to allow us to be able to take our positions. The reform, as of Ayamenu, as we proudly call him, could not have succeeded without teachers. And subsequently, the takeover threats were temporarily put to rest under Article 190 and 193 of the 1992 Constitution. I won't say anything about that. If you have a Constitution, check it out. You'll find it there. Unfortunately, these threats have resurfaced today with vim over the last 10 years. And political parties, and I mean political parties, are struggling to outdo each other in their unwritten contests to determine who would succeed in driving the final nail in the coffin that removes the GES entirely. And I say, I am certain, and I want to borrow a very special expression in Ghana, in the interest of the teacher and the teaching profession, this too shall fail. So we are hoping that in the future the Ghana Education Service will be strong, particularly for teachers. And it's important. We'll get back to that when we talk about our professional dignity. But let's look at going forward after 90 or during 90. We want to reflect on some of the things that have happened within the 90-year period. So the continuous evolution of NAT, has caused the organization to endure challenges. And some of these challenges have been driven essentially by democracy and other internal and operational developments. While the teacher front, quote unquote, is diversified, let me say that again. While the teacher front today is diversified, it remains intact. And therein lies the evidence of the maturity of NAT. NAT has begotten 2 other unions amidst significant pangs that can be likened to childbirth. And here I know some people who have an experience and they can describe that to some of you who don't know what I'm talking about. NAT has given birth to 2 other unions amidst the pangs of pain akin to childbirth. But that is history and unfolding development. But I'm happy that there is considerable collaboration and partnership as these currently three groups coalesce to defend the interests of teachers and the profession. NAT has come very far, but the question is it fit for purpose in the future? And it is at this point that we want to look at the aspects of this question that affects our welfare and our professional dignity. You know, dear delegates, that at one point in time in history there was one teacher union. Now today 2 others have been created, and currently we have a new environment, and that new environment could divert attention from teachers' welfare and continuing professional development. I'm happy that the GS is represented here by the officer in charge of continuing professional. So the welfare of teachers is critical, and it is a responsibility for which NAT would have to take up going forward in the future. In demanding an intensified response to teacher welfare, we are not forgetting the different programs and activities currently ongoing to help teachers prepare for their future. NAT recognizes that beyond teaching there is a future. We are going to all retire at 60. When we retire at 60, what does it then mean? So NAT has put down specific things. But we are saying that what teachers need now is more welfare support to do more for education in the country. So we need more welfare support to do more for education. So NAT must now take the steps to re-examine the welfare structure and the welfare requirements of teachers to avoid overemphasizing the future rather than the present conditions teachers find themselves in. And I've seen that there are a lot of things happening, which is very, very commendable, and many of you can attest to that. So we ask the question, what shall it profit a teacher who has learned to build in her hometown, yet cannot find current accommodation where they are assigned to teach? Some have argued that accommodation for teachers, seriously, is an aspect of the conditions of service, which is not the responsibility for NAT. And that is true. Because once you become a teacher, you have a condition of service that is provided by government. So government must deliver that. But we belong to an association. And the essence is for that association to provide a present and clear assistance to us so that we can enjoy the benefits of belonging to the association. So it is not only about the future, it's about now. Yes. And we will ask NAT to take up in whatever. But you see, the accounts have a problem. Teachers themselves, we have been our worst enemies. When we're talking about some accommodation that is available, I know that it is available in some areas, not everywhere. And that's the case throughout the country. People start to go and look for it. There is accommodation. If I want to go a little bit outside the school, then the teachers, teachers bunglemans and mother serpents and all of them who were there. And the bad thing is that no teacher. And it's important that we do that. All of us have heard in our various areas how teachers were very important previously. Today, you cannot say much of it when you begin to talk about teachers. And this requires a strong community involvement in the places where schools are established, with teachers leading the process of change. The important thing here is that we need to change the perception, improve the perception of teachers to enable us to receive the appropriate recognition that we want to get from the society. And we believe that GNAT can play a big role in this process and help to strengthen our community actions in the interest of teachers. Closely linked to the issue of building an improved perception of teachers is the issue of ethics. Over the past 90 years, we have all heard varying true and fake news about the absence of clear ethical considerations on the part of many teachers. The determination to survive as a reliable and vibrant teacher union is very closely linked with the demonstration of proper moral values amongst us as teachers. This challenge of the absence of ethical values must be confronted and sustain teaching as a profession under these circumstances. What are our needs as new teachers as we take up new jobs, and what contributions will the old teachers also perform in helping to build capacity and strengthen the teacher spirit? And here I want to share an experience. Sometime in 2008, we identified that there was a certain concern that was affecting teachers. And that concern had to do with, we could not see the extent to which GNAT was assisting to help new teachers, and we were focused on new teachers to properly locate and settle in their new stations. You know, new teachers are a strategic group, and Nat will tell you about that. Currently, it has become more strategic. But we wanted to see how we could demonstrate that we were very much interested in them as new teachers, and that we would support them to settle well, teach well, and become what we call good examples in the community. That was not there. So we were worried. And our suggestion was that GNAT should set up a particular unit which could be called a teacher support unit. Now, the teacher support unit would be a group of teachers, and let's take Manya Krobo. In Manya Krobo, you have a teacher support unit that begins to look at all the teachers that have come new. So you identify these people to go and see how all these teachers have settled in their respective locations. Find out, when did you come? Where are you staying? Have you got a house? No. And now that we don't have a house, maybe some of the members on the group can go and conference.
Issue came, I followed him a lot. I have a lot of his articles here, but I'll reserve that later. We have some guests here with
colleagues, if you remember, then and for the information of our visitors,
delegate from Municipal. My first question is on NACA. In fact, NACA has done well by coming up with a program to make the standard-based curriculum very effective. But there is something that came on air or in the nation about textbook issue. Please, I want you to enlighten us about it. How far it has reached, because for now we have been in the teaching or the classroom for about 2.5 years for the introduction of the NACA issues, but we have not heard anything about it. I want to throw more light about it. And second,
Wisdom Kadaga Kofi Mohammed from Odumansi, a delegate from Odumansi. I want to ask a question. And my question is about study leave, as I heard of. I don't know what GNAT is going to help teachers that want to go on study leave with pay. When it comes to other professions, I know that the courses that you offer comes out before they apply. But when it comes to the teaching profession, you apply and you're waiting for courses that the government will approve. I don't know if it comes to the notice of the teacher, the national or the NAT executive before. So I want to ask what they are doing to help the young ones or those that are willing to go and study with pay, so that they will not waste their money on that.
They will be very snappy. And it's directly to the guest speakers. When you mounted the topics, you said there is one interesting thing about NACA that probably we don't know, and you will tell us. In fact, I didn't hear anything that is so interesting as you said in your speech. So I want to remind you that we are ready for that interesting thing about NACA.
And that NACA is an opportunity for all teachers who believe they can make real contributions to materials development. I believe very, very much that if you are a teacher and you are able to develop material and you discuss with NACA as a teacher, you have a head start than maybe anybody coming in from anywhere. And of course, if you have the support of NAT behind you, then your chances are probably even brighter. So that's just why I said that NACA is a good opportunity. In the past, you probably didn't have that opportunity. But now NACA is open and you can use your skills to be able to get improved access to that space. Now,
Honorable Ms. Manya Krobo, MP of Manya, such as the former Director General GES, the Regional Man Secretary, officer from the Regional Office GES, heads of departments and institutions, hardworking municipal executives, distinguished invited guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to express my heartfelt appreciation for the invitation extended to me to be part of this 6th quadrennial Municipal Delegates Conference of Ghana National Association of Teachers, GNAT. Let me congratulate you for your hard work in the last quadrennial, which has enabled your union to serve its constituents well in the last 4 years, and also enable the union to meet its constitutional obligation of organizing yet another impressive and well-attended conference. Bringing together such large numbers of delegates in a conference of this nature is not an easy task. The financial and human resources and logistics, as well as the organizing skills required in putting together such a conference is huge and difficult to quantify in this COVID period. Mr. Chairman, you will agree with me that the world is facing an unprecedented threat from the COVID-19 pandemic caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus, referred to as the COVID-19 virus. Many countries are in a critical health situation. We in Ghana are fortunate as a result of the government's early response. I must also thank God for the protection He has given us as a municipality throughout the pandemic. Mr. Chairman, with the discovery of the COVID-19 vaccine and the swift intervention from government, some aspects of our population have been vaccinated, and plans are far advanced to get more of the vaccine to cover the rest of the population. In spite of this great intervention, Mr. Chairman, your delegates conference is coming up at a very momentous time, both in the history of your union. In conclusion, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a successful 6th Quadrennial Municipal Delegates Conference, and also once again thank the organizers of the conference for the invitation extended to me to share a few thoughts with you. My doors are open to you at all times. Let us harness our talents for the betterment of our nation through frequent interactions, collaborations, and cooperation. Amansi, currently, in terms of support for teachers,
all the members at the high table, our distinguished delegates, fellow teachers, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again. I want to thank you so much for inviting me to take part in this program. Mine is going to be very short, probably 2 or 3 minutes I'll be done. And to give me the chance to interact with you, I really appreciate this gesture. And for that matter, Mr. Chairman, I want to use this opportunity to thank all of you, especially those from Manya. Thank you very much. Because you contributed to making me a member of parliament for Manya. You have made me the chief servant for Manya. And for that matter, I did for you. And that is the reason why I have to follow you all the way from Manya to Manya. Because you did your part, but I still need your support to succeed. Because my success means Manya will be free from underdevelopment. Mr. Chairman, 90 years of NAT has not been easy, because I was once a member of NAT, and I know where we left off. 90 years, if NAT were to be a human being, you all know what would have been doing by now. But thank God NAT is not a human being. And so we keep on rebranding to keep NAT active, so that we don't do the 90 years old things that we used to do, or our forebears used to do until it is our turn. Mr. Chairman, I got to know that very soon Manya will be separated from NAT Manya Krobo. Yes. I look forward for that day, and hope I will be part. And for that matter, I will start preparing myself, so that at least your meeting office in Manya, we shall talk about that. The word is saying that teachers' reward is in heaven. I don't know what I say to but studies show that some people believe heaven is on earth here. So what about those people that will not go to heaven? That means they will have no reward. And for that matter, we need to get the reward for the work we are doing, so that our worship to God will give us a different reward in heaven. When I went around for my out and protect them all. If you know, you know. on that note, I thank you for listening.
We live to teach.
NAT.
We live to teach.
Oh, I can hear. NAT.
We live to teach.
Or do you want the throwaway? NAT is going to be 90 years very soon, some few months away, and we are celebrating it in grand style. We have this cake from Manya Krobo, very unique, very special. So, we are going to cut the cake. And the C stands for communication, A stands for affection, K stands for kindness, because man is very kind. And the E, encouragement. We encourage one another, and education. So, will you all help me? We are cutting this cake in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. Amen. Amen.
Hey.
Right, thank you very much.
Okay. Take care.
I'm Isaac Kano from Ghedutainment.com. Currently, I have the Human Resource Director of Education for Upper Manya Krobo District. He's in the person of Mr. Solomon Azubila. Yeah. So we came for the NAT Delegate Conference. It's about to leave, so we just want to ask him one or few questions about how he felt the program went, and then we will leave him to go. So, sir, once again, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
We are very privileged to have you this afternoon.
Yeah,
on, let's say, the Delegate Conference, it just went on successfully. How did you see the program?
I think that is 90 years now today.
90 years.
And the cake was cut just a moment ago for us to start the celebration. But before then, the NAT conference has been put into two sections. That is the first section, which we have just concluded, and the cake is cut, and the second section that will go for the election of executives. And that is either to maintain or retain the chairman or to elect a new chairman and other portfolios within. In fact, since I arrived here very early, around 8 a.m., and from then to now, I could say that all the organizations put in place, been right from food to the main programs, presentations from retired acting Director General, Mr. Ayeto Chigan, to the last person. Well, all the presentations were very enlightening, and you can attest to it.
Yes.
That it has been very, very successful, and all delegates, all invited guests are very, very happy to be at this gathering. And I myself am very, very excited to be there. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. We'd like to also tell that he has also passed the directorship position, and very soon he'll be posted. So let's say soon to be posted director. So, sir, we'd like to thank you. We didn't like to waste much of your time. Thank you very much for your little comment you made on this. This is Ghedutainment. Thank you very much.
We wish all the best, and God bless us all.
Thank you.
Community. And there's nothing like so that nobody will be disgruntled after the elections. And all that I'm saying go in peace. But one thing you need to know is that, like somebody said, you have to fear delegates. On this note, I want to wish each and every contestant a very good luck and may the best candidate win. Normally, when we come to a teachers' meeting like this, champion your cause. It's not that people who come and tell you things that are not true. At a place,
dissolve the municipal executives. But before I do that, I formally dissolve the Manya Krobo, that executive. And I will formally ask my regional officers and my regional
is the one speaking. Madam Lydia Osei is the secretary. Rosina is the chairperson. Madam Lydia Amafwa, the NAT secretary for Yilo Municipality. We have Mr. Obin Grante, who is the NAT secretary for Esojamai. And then Mr. Eric Dema. So these are the 5-member committee members. We are ready for the elections. All election materials are ready for you to vote. Before we tell you the procedures for the voting, on the voting process, we want to invite the candidates forward to come and give us
vying for the position of NAT chairmanship. For us to be able to survive as a vibrant union, we need to expand the NAT tentacles to bring all members on board. And I will do that in my administration by forming all the 7 committees that are in our constitutions to lead NAT business. Unfortunately, we don't have those committees here. And so NAT business is being led by individuals. And this is resulting in scams. When you go to Asasewa, 50,000 city teachers money for welfare scam. You come to Manya Krobo.
I proposed or I came before you with 3 things. And I said that 1, as a union, your core business is the welfare of your members. So therefore, why should somebody travel from Akaten and come to Atwa to come and access services of a union? So when you vote for me, I will make sure that we get a satellite office at Asasewa. So there are services. By the grace of God, as you speak now, those of you from Apa, you can attest that the office is there working. The second one, I promised you and told you that we are going to make sure that we do activities that are going to bring you to go. As we speak, the CPD program. I'm promising you as we speak, I'm supposed to nominate 2 of you to be trained as national facilitators. All because you placed me on the budget committee. And therefore, the things we are going to do, we are going to make sure that we do what we
I'm here this afternoon to sensitize you, to let you know that I'm a better person and a lady to be the one, to be a vice chairperson for this conference. And then even for that, as a long-serving council member, I know that every decision that has been taken through the municipal, I'll be part of it. It gives me and makes me more competent to be your vice chairperson.
I am Robert Lawrence. I am contesting for the position of vice chairperson. There is a saying which says that behind every successful man, there is a woman, not just a woman, a virtuous
later the ideas come, you talk to your executives and you implement them. All the activities that you see over there has been the unity that has been there between the youth coordinator and all the executives. I am soliciting for your votes again that the ideas are still there. They are coming every now and then. Get me there for the rest of the 4 years that I have to spend and let me finish there. Thank you.
Hello. To seal it, to start voting.
Yes, I'm important. So, your name? Are you a business citizen?
Come on, before no, and then this is where your mask.
Okay, video there. You don't give them nothing. Then you are voting.
Are you?
Baby.
One no and 68 yes for basic school coordinator. Then not last, we have one no and 27 yes. We move on to youth coordinator. We have 4 no and 88 yes. Trustees. Mr. Daniel Plano had 64.
Oh, we top finish.
And Brasford 28. We have 3 candidates. Michael 9 votes. Rafael 27 votes. And Linda 56 votes. Moving on to treasurer, we have 2 no votes and 90 yes votes. Then the final and the key one, which is the chairperson, key position. We had 74 votes for Ivan Staten and 80 votes
Having been elected to the office of please, we are taking the floor, so let the hands be big. Having been elected to the office of in the Ghana Association of Teachers, do in the name of Almighty God swear that I will be faithful and true to the Ghana Association of Teachers, that I will at all times preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of Ghana National Association of Teachers, and that I dedicate myself to the service and well-being of all members of NAT, and do right to all manner of persons. I further solemnly swear that should I at any time break this oath of office, I shall submit myself to the Constitution of the Ghana National Association of Teachers and the laws of Ghana, and suffer the penalty for it. So help me God. Congratulations for elected officers and executives.
Thank you.
voted for certain things. Some things are not touched. So those that we are not voted for, let us not add it to the piece. Colleagues, newly elected delegates for reposing in us the confidence once again. And I want to assure you that once again we are not going to take it for granted. We are going to do everything possible and I want to plead with you that the support we want from you is not only the vote. We want your support in every sphere, every aspect, especially the local executives. Every time we call up, be with us, guide us, see us through. Thank you very much. At this moment, we move on and I'll follow the trustee.
The sight of God in the hearts of men, there is no word that is greater than appreciation. Also, tradition and courtesy demands that anybody who helped with the accomplishments of the feat needs to be appreciated. Therefore, first and foremost, I want to give glory and honor to God Almighty for making this conference a resounding success. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation also to the guest speaker, other invited distinguished guests, for taking time off their business schedules and they made it a point to come and honor us. It is my prayer that the Lord, who is the rewarder of those who diligently seek Him, will locate them with His immeasurable blessings. Also, I extend my gratitude to the municipal, regional, and the national representatives for their able guidance and continued support to make this program a resounding success. I believe that the ruler of the times and seasons will remember them in due time. Also, I want to express my profound appreciation to the GNAT and the conflict resolution committee for their sacrifice, commitment, and dedication to duty. We pray that the Lord will bless them with God. Then, last but not the least, my appreciation goes to all delegates for making it a time to come and then vote. I want to leave you with a quote which has also been my inspiration from Martin Luther King. This man said that an individual has never lived unless he has rise above his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. Thank you for your attention.
We pray that our activity today should be remembered the next time we come to the conference again, and we will be glad to make this decision. If there is anything that will make us regret this day, have mercy on us and guide all the steps of our elected executive. Help them to take decisions so that 4 years from today, in our accounting, we shall give glory to God. Grant every member, every delegate, the traveling message back home safely in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus
Mo,